So Josh, I guess for you, how do you increase confidence for yourself, for your executives, for your customers, that you guys are doing a good job, that your operations team is performing well? Or, right, the other part of that is, the other side of the coin is showing where there's gaps so that you can help fix those gaps. How do you do that? How do you increase confidence and figure that out?
So, very complex question, and there is no easy answer to it. I'm a big proponent of training. I do dedicated training. When I onboard somebody, they're going to be in a pure train-only mode for us, typically 3 to 4 weeks, because we want them to know our tools, know our products, be certified in our tools and products. Make sure that we have that level of confidence before we even sit them and they're making decisions. And then we go back and do all the metrics analysis. What happened? What did these folks actually do? What has, occurred because of the decision they made? And look at kind of that decision tree matrix of this analyst has done this, this, and this, and these have been the outcomes of that. Do I need to retrain them? Do I need to, benchmark that and make that a SOP and part of the playbook? Is that something that we can go ahead and present to our senior leadership and go, look, here's the metric, here's where we're actually saving time, money, personnel.
Okay. Xavier?
Yeah.
You're combining teams, right?
Yeah,
so that's an additional challenge.
And because, like I said, we've got all these, I talked about all the different silos. It's encouraging them and empowering them to tell their story. To what are you doing on a daily basis, weekly basis? Like, where are your successes? And also, again, empowering them and telling them it's okay to say, I've got a blocker, I need some help. We could do things better only if. And we have, daily stand-ups with, executive leadership is on there with all sorts of different lines of business. And they're starting to see, hey, I can stand up and say, hey, we're doing this, identify this problem, and people are getting help. So as we're starting to develop this culture around, not only want to hear what you're doing on the good, but if you're struggling and executing, bring it up. Yeah, we've got lots of people here that could probably help out and get that solved. But yeah, getting all of those, here's the good things we're doing in a consumable way that we can then package and send to executives is very important.
So for me, it's just you move out of the way. The team, let the team tell the story because it's they're the ones that are actually doing the work. When you try to create a culture of fail fast, fail often, don't fail the same way twice. Yeah. Right. I want you to fail. I want you to work hard. I want you to be okay with not getting it right. So,
yeah.
I let the executive leadership see that. And so when they come in and we're talking about, they want to hear from me because I'm the head of cyber ops, but most of the time when I'm in a meeting, I'll bring in my SOC manager, I'll bring in threat intel, I'll bring in our forensics team or red team, whoever's actually doing the work. And then I will introduce them and step out of the way. Because the reality is that Paul Keener's not the one actually doing the work. I'm just making sure they don't get punched for it.
Yeah.
So that's, and that what that does is that builds the reputation of the team. So it makes it, when people see that, that my ego does not need to be stroked enough that I need to take from everybody else, right? Yeah. I'm okay with where I'm at. And I want them to go ahead and get the kudos for it. And I want them to see, that they can call somebody else besides me. That's the other piece to this that I think is super important that builds confidence in the team, is that if I'm the only person that can be called in the event of emergency, then we've done some really bad things.
Yeah.
And so I want them to be able to call any one of my team and be able to respond and answer. So for me, that's the metric. If I can take a week off without having to call in.
Yeah, if you're counting on me for some process, that process is perfect.
Yeah. Stress test the process by taking a vacation, right?
Exactly.
And you guys touched on some important things that we've heard again and again is culture, right? To let people know it's okay to raise your hand. Let people know that it's okay to fail. I've heard stories at some other big banks where that was not the case, and they failed as a company because of that, right? Because they had things that people were not bringing up that they knew were broken or not being solved, but they were afraid to bring that up, or it just wasn't encouraged, right? So human instinct sometimes kicks in, and if it's not explicit, their implied response or implied way of handling it was to stay silent, right? So
I refuse to let them do that.
yeah, problems don't get fixed if you don't know about it, right? So,
But one of the things we do is tell them, when the team does bring things up,
yeah.
I address it in about an hour
Yeah.
at the latest, right? I will rattle whatever tree I have to rattle up to the CEO. It really doesn't matter. And so when you start to get those results, what it does is it does give people the confidence, the team that you work with, it gives them the confidence that if they do bring something up, it's actually going to get addressed, and it's not just going to be a pat on the head and I'm sure that sucks for you. Like, no, what's a problem for you is now a problem for me. So
yeah.
let's go ahead and fix it.